A second delay for GTA 6, something that many of us didn't see coming based on the history of Rockstar always giving a precise release date when they feel completely confident about the fact that the game is indeed going to be releasing on that date. If you look at previous games, you saw everything going from like spring to fall and from fall to spring, and then when the time was right, they would give you an actual release date and it would stick with that. Except for like, you know, a week or two difference with, I believe, Red Dead and Max Payne 3. I believe Red Dead was even released 2 weeks early, which is surprising. This meant to me personally that the moment that they announced that May 26, 2026 release date, I was very confident that we were indeed going to be playing the game in May. We were a mere 7 months away, and Rockstar decided to pull the plug and let us know it was gonna be just a little bit longer. Another year? No! The reality of the situation is one we're all too familiar with. Like with every other Rockstar game that ever has been delayed, there's one reason and one reason only why they do it. Polish. Better known as making sure that in 5 years' time you get to make a tweet like this and you don't look like an absolute moron. For those who see my initial reaction, they will know exactly how I felt. I hate to admit to the fact that this has had a bigger emotional impact on me than I'd like to admit. Mind you, this is due to some more personal things that happened throughout the week and the bad news that came along with it. I'll spare you the pity party, but yeah, I was really just looking forward to gearing up all the way until May and really getting going with that marketing hype for GTA 6. Unfortunately, that's now been kind of rug pull underneath me, and we now have to wait an additional 6 months until we get to go and do that. And also the fact that I was really looking forward to making content about GTA 6 instead of that other game that is currently drier than a nun's cut. The serious downside is really for those GTA fans who were through and through just sticking with the franchise and pretty much playing GTA Online exclusively. Because they were just like, oh, just a few more months of GTA Online and we'll be alright. Marketing should start very soon, and that's when the fun will begin. Heck, we even have mentions to look forward to, and that's probably going to be the big final GTA Online DLC to send us off. Oh wait, I wrote that down. And I guess also 10% of you, that is something we'll make a video on potentially within the future. All silliness aside, I think it's worth to spend a bit of time giving some more insight about the delay and why exactly it's happened, and also the effect it had on Rockstar and Take-Two as a whole.
Now, in Rockstar's situation here, and GTA 6 specifically, I think that the game is getting delayed for multiple reasons, and it's usually like this with most games and most companies. It's not usually like pinned down to like this one thing that's happening, okay? And the reason for that is because there's so many things that are involved in making a video game. And when you delay something, it's usually because of a big change that you've made that's taking longer than expected. So there could be also like an implementation of a new system or a new mechanic in the game. So for instance, on GTA 5, we went in and we added in first person mode. Hello, future me here.
We know from interviews and stories through the grapevine that Red Dead Redemption 2 had called a delay because out of nowhere, the leads decided, hey, well, you know what the game really needs? Black bars in cutscenes, which prompted devs to have to redo basically every single cutscene because of obviously the fact that you have less screen space and everything has to still fit within said screen. Then on top of the fact that they also suddenly decided late in development that they wanted to port over Red Dead Redemption's 1 map, and there you go. That's what is a year-long delay and a lot, and I mean a lot of crunch. Now obviously times seemingly have changed, but also not really, given that there are some reports floating around about crunch seemingly slipping back into the Rockstar offices, unfortunately. But luckily they did decide that when adding Mexico, it wasn't probably that good of an idea. Luckily though, there's modders out there who are now doing it for them. That is, until Take-Two goes, wait a minute, no, and then slaps it away. It's a good time. Money is another thing that a lot of people like to bring up with this delay. Delaying it from May until November, in their eyes, means more game sales. which I get, you know, fall season, people are more inclined to spend money as well as have more free time to spend said money and use the game and that sort of stuff. But if you then look at the numbers of how much money Take-Two and Rockstar are going to lose because of this delay, you know, it's what looks to be a $3.2 billion market cap. Market cap, or market capitalization, is the total value of a publicly traded company outstanding shares, calculated by multiplying the current stock price by the total number of shares. It is a key metric that is used to classify companies by size, such as large cap, mid cap, or small cap, and helps investors understand a company's market value and associated risk. And on top of the fact that, according to reports, the delay will cost Rockstar $60 million, which is $10 million a month, and then you're probably looking at what is a valuation loss of nearly $3.3 billion. This is stuff that will affect companies, and most companies will not dare to do. It shows that there's definitely been some really tough conversations behind the scenes, which probably went along the lines of, hey, you're Rockstar, right? You like to release games that are polished and have like a certain expectation, which at the moment for GTA 6 is probably the highest and most hyped it ever been. How about you take another 6 months to make sure you don't release like Cyberpunk? And on top of the fact that this will cost Take-Two and Rockstar $60 million according to reports floating around, and you have what is $3.3 million just vanishing out of nowhere because Rockstar decided to post something on Twitter. Mind you, this is Rockstar, and they're fortunate enough to be backed by Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, who loves... Well, luckily that's not the only employee trouble that they're having. I'm standing here in front of the offices of Rockstar North on a more positive note, GTA Online. Oh, hi there, future me here, having played the new Mansion missions. If these missions are an indication of what the Mansion DLC is going to be like, we are in trouble. Having also seen some teasers for the Mansion DLC, apparently there is potentially something interesting going on with them, according to Lucas on Twitter. Lucas points out that the image that Rockstar posted yesterday actually might have a new Mansion shown in there. Also pointing out the fact that this could actually be a very first time where you could see the inside of the interior as a first time ever in GTA Online. This is something that happens quite commonly within the 5M side of things in RP servers, whereas in GTA Online, often you just go into a circle and then you spawn into a different instance. But even if that's actually the case, it does make me wonder, where is the gameplay side of things? I've done a whole video on like my personal reservations with the Mansion DLC, and I've repeated those quite a few times over the past few months, as I'm personally really wondering if it's going to be a casino-style DLC where we will get a large property and a map change, and the gameplay side of things is going to be severely lacking. And on top of the fact that Rockstar has also just announced that Red Dead Redemption will be coming to mobile and some other platforms again for the third year in a row, you have to wonder if they're not just going like 6-shooter on announcements and stuff like that to kind of make us go away from having some other things that they might want us to be distracted by, because that situation is not doing so hot. They're currently talking about it in the UK Parliament. More protests are happening on the 14th, which is the day that I'm recording this. It's getting ugly. Lawsuits are being thrown each other's ways, and yeah, even people from inside Rockstar themselves, about 200 of something I believe, have like now gone like, hey, this is not cool. So the mood inside of Rockstar North, which is the main studio that's making GTA 6, is at an all-time low.
Clear an interest because I have an employee who works for the company I'm about to mention, although they are not affected by the action it's taken. That company is video game company Rockstar, who's fired at least 30 employees across its UK studios, including Rockstar North in Edinburgh. Several of my constituents have been directly affected, and some came to see me last week to express those concerns. They claim they have been sacked because they were trying to unionise and discussing working conditions in private, but Rockstar have accused them of distributing confidential information and sacked them for gross misconduct. conduct. I've written to Rockstar to ask for information on the issue, but I wondered, could I have a meeting with the relevant minister to discuss what steps can be taken to support the workforce?
The sector she talks about is really important to the growth of the economy, but so too are rights at work, and successful companies are those that give decent rights and conditions at work, decent rights and conditions for the people they employ. So I will raise it with ministers and see what action, if any, can be taken to resolve this. Thank you.
So yeah, it's not looking particularly great right now for Rockstar and fans alike. But if you never played Red Dead Redemption in the past 15 years, there's now another platform where you can play it on. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that Red Dead Redemption is being re-released and more people will get to have a chance to enjoy the game. But what I am saying is, yeah, it's not great right now for Rockstar fans and everything alike. We have another year of GTA 6 to wait for, and with online DLCs probably not really lightening that load in any sort of significant way, unless like mentioned DLCs completely blow our socks up, which I have to doubt. And again, if I'm wrong about that, I might eat another shoe. But yeah, it's not great right now. I mean, there's a lot of really cool games out there, but if you're someone who's like looking to scratch that GTA 6 type itch, I think it's time to start getting some anti-itch cream, because you're going to need it for the next year or so. There's obviously also the Max Payne remix from the Rockstar side of things, which Remedy is still working on, which apparently is suspected to be coming out next year. So if that comes out before GTA 6, that'd be really cool. And if you're just a regular video game player, then there is still plenty of really cool stuff out there currently, as well as still coming up in the next year. But time shall tell, as we are eagerly awaiting to hear more about the game. But as time moves on and 2025 comes to a close, I kind of doubt we'll be hearing anything about GTA 6 anytime soon, until probably closer to May. Because, yeah, that's when it's 6 months away from the release, and I think right now they're going to be more busy with getting the focus on the new version of Red Dead Redemption, as well as the GTA Online DLC. But I think, as always, it's really just important to remember that all-important quote: an unpolished, buggy mess of a game will always be remembered as Cyberpunk 2077. A polished masterpiece will always be remembered as Red Dead Redemption 2. Please do not cut off my hand in the comments for Cyberpunk slander. If I wanted that to happen, I would let you know that I personally think that DLC was miles better than the base game. Oops.